Hello fans of Marvel Heroes and friends of my channel, my name is Wilfred and today there's been an article published at the Kotaku.com, and one of the sites that I always visit because I like the writing style there, and there's an article called The Last Months of GAZillion. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that, also relate to my personal experience as well, because I do have my source to validate some of this information, and I'm not going to name the names because that person may not like it that I just publicly announce that. So talk about that. And also a very important announcement here is that I do not use Discord. I do not have a Discord account. I understand that after the demise of Marvel Heroes Omega, someone created a chat room. There are fans inside, those who frequent the forums, as well as the ex-developers are there to chat. And somehow, in that Discord chat room, someone may have seen me there, and I've got comments coming into my YouTube and say, "Hey, nice chatting with you last night at Discord." And I got a little bit puzzled and sort of like did a little bit of investigation. Well, to be honest, that person is not me. And in this time and age, it's quite easy to verify who is who actually, right? Because if that was my account, I would have put the Discord ID underneath my video, like what I've done to my Steam account, like the Google Plus, my personal page, and my personal website, like the in-game IDs from other places like the Blizzard games and so on. So I've got all these things going on. So it's kind of easy to know which one is the real me, which one is not. So I hope it doesn't come as a disappointment. I'm not quite sure how well he has acted as my imposter, but yeah, but that's internet, it happens. Ever since the forum is down and ever since the game is down, it feels a little bit odd because usually I'll log in there and sort of like every day I log in and check out the some of the people there, or just to get the login bonus if ever try my luck for a 90% discount voucher, which never happened because mine is an old account, which I knew it already. I knew it. So that and I visited the forum like once a day, just to check out, get in touch with people, drop a few comments here and there, keep the forum alive. So I've done that in the past on a near daily manner, and all of a sudden when the game shut down, there's a disconnect there. It's still like a cold turkey in some sense. And I do sort of like feel that wow, I just all of a sudden every connection is being severe. But I've got a YouTube channel, so there are still some of you who chat with me online here, which I kind of appreciate it. Another place that I kind of go there once in a while is the Steam kind of forum. Now you can't find it in Steam anymore because the store page is gone. But what you could do is that you Google like a Steam Marvel Heroes Omega forum, and you can see you can check out people are still posting there and just having some discussion there. And I thought it's quite a nice alternative to what we had, and you can see some of these screenshots and videos and news just to get the kind of nostalgic kind of like a feeling of the window in some sense. But yeah, so do check that out. I found that quite interesting, and I'll put a link there at the description below. And also let's go back to the article there, because I think we used to have a lot of speculation on what has gone wrong, why GAZillion has gone silent, and so on. Many people thought that it was due to the CEO, sexual harassment case or whatnot. I think if you recall the video I've got on GAZillion gone silent, I've already speculated that it just can't quite be because in corporation these sort of things do happens, and what happened is that the CEO get suspended, and an acting CEO will come on board and continue to steer the ship across. But in GAZillion case, it was kind of different. So I knew that it wasn't the reason, and I saw like also in that video talk about it could well be just a financial crisis that GAZillion has faced. And if you recall, just a bit like before. It's quite a bit before when I was studying the console number, I was asking myself like, is the console really doing well? Because obviously console was supposed to be the saving grace of Marvel Heroes Omega, the whole reason why we are going to console is that the PC has not been doing well for a long time. And console is really the place to generate the revenue and so on. But when I look at the number, it doesn't really tell a good story because I see the decline from there. And so in that video also, quite a while back, I called it like probably console didn't do too well. So suffice to say, if you check out the article by the Kotaku, which is one of my favorite websites, by the way, one of the chief editors have published a book called the Blood, Sweat and Pixel. And if he ever write another volume, that I think this Marvel Heroes Omega story will go into that book. Inside that book, there has been a lot of very interesting games. I've done a review as well in my website on this particular book on various games like from Diablo 3 to I think to other games like Dragon Age 2 and so on. So there has been really a lot of really good story talking about the behind the scene, the game company, and that's why I like the website a lot, because it does kind of give me the kind of insight, not just the marketing materials. So now in this article, it talk about the problem that Gazillion has with the license, and sort of it just, because of the whole bleeding out of the user base in PC world, it's just that they have to do console, right? They have to console, but the console is underperformed compared to what the executive have forecast. So in the business world, it's quite simple, because you put out business case saying that you want to take this amount of budget or investment into creating a port to console. And you're promising the shareholder that you would bring in that much revenue. But obviously it didn't happen. So that kind of led to the point whereby, that it's just not doing well. So Gazillion has lost a license back in October already, quite a while back. For those of you who has been following the forum, I think some point in time they talk a little bit about the contract renegotiation. Maybe some employee inside or some insider information get floated around, and I always kind of catch some of those things. And but although the license was lost back in October, but the people inside still feel that there's a chance of renegotiation. So the renegotiation kind of happening, but in a way there's still not a lot of news out from it. There's a lot of silence from there, and all the employees are being gagged because the Gazillion trying to figure out what is next. And from my source, and I'm not going to name who, and by the way, my source is pretty reliable as well, because I managed to link him up through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the so-called the business kind of social media. I use my business account to link into his business account, and so we corresponded there as well. So. So what happened is that they are not allowed to say anything within the month, and sort of they are trying to figure out whether there's a chance to find a buyer or not, because if there's another buyer to buy up the game and to continue developing, that would be it. I think some people say that the CEO of Gazillion didn't want to sell or whatnot. I think sometimes people speculate, but I think they were trying to find a buyer in some sense. And in a way, I do feel for the people inside Gazillion as well, because they are just in the dark as we are, in a sense that we fans felt that we were being lied to, but then the employee inside also felt that they were being lied to as well. It's not like that they know everything. It's just that they thought the renegotiation is still happening, but it just doesn't happen in a sense. So so I think the consequences, everything else is kind of news to you right now, that excuse me, that the whole thing was just going down. They didn't even get their pay, so they work overtime, and all this time that's being worked on, they're supposed to have money or compensation, but they didn't get any. So but I think the most heartbreaking thing, and it's not really something that is surprising anyway, is that they could have just kept 2 employees the salary on, and they would have kept the game until end of the year, which was what was promised. But that didn't happen because they didn't even want to pay 2 employees to run the game for another month or so for the fans. So So that's why. So that is the whole story of the whole thing. Just go silent and then go gone dark before even before the whole kind of deadline, the end of the year deadline. All right. So that's all. Sharing my the news there and some of the stories, some of the insider information I have while during this month or so. And I hope you guys are fine as well, because it does have some kind of impact. But for me, I've already moved on to other games, and I've been playing other games and starting a new series on the Path of Exile for the new players. I've been playing other games like Diablo 3, trying out other ARPG as well, and trying out other new games like the Motorsport Manager and other genres that I enjoy. So, I mean, my gaming life is just as wonderful, but I understand that some of you may be a little bit heartbroken, maybe trying to find another Marvel Heroes kind of games. From my experience, I think it's not going to be one that is just like what you have played before. I can relate because when sometimes when I look back on games that I wish I could continue playing, like 5-4, that I couldn't anymore because they changed the game so much after their biggest update ever. I always look back at that moment in time and wonder if I could just play the game like at that point in time with the friends also at that point in time. But sometimes when time is different, even if the game is being brought back alive, your friends may have been gone and the whole feeling may have been different. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things in life. It's fond memory. Just remember that and just move on. I hope you'll find something enjoyable to play. I hope you'll continue tuning into my video. And remember, if you see the person in Discord, just call him out and say that you are not Wilfred or you're not Lace. All right, see you next time. Goodbye.